How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let's get down to the situation. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, y'all. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. Lord have mercy. We are going down the same road again. This is a very sad situation. It also is just like, come on, for real, for real. But in any event, let's get down to what Umar Johnson had to say, because he's saying his school is going to be auctioned off, and the state, the city, they're going to take it from him, and he needs. Let's check this out.
On August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a notice to auction off the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy campus for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I repeat, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a lien to auction off the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years. I was not notified of this. We were not notified of this. This past weekend, without an email, this past weekend, without a letter in the mail, this past weekend, without a phone call, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informed on August the 5th.
So now this is a whole crazy situation. So now his school is going to be auctioned off, and it's because of taxes not being paid. And it's also alleged that there's, owed money for lights, for gas, property tax needs to be paid. And he's basically saying he didn't get any information, but if you pay your taxes every year, that's like, do you have an accountant? Is somebody in charge of the books? And now at this point, Dr. Umar Johnson is saying that this conspiracy against to say.
Me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters, why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen? Brothers and sisters, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the city of Wilmington is trying to sell properties that we own and have been working on continuously behind our backs? They were going to sell our schools behind our backs. They didn't even tell us and me that if we don't.
So, this is a whole crazy situation. So now Dr. Umar Johnson feels like this is a conspiracy, but also, they want to take his school, and that could be true. But as well, it's like it's been too many years going on, and it's not an accredited school yet. Kids are not attending class. Like, what's really going on? We do see that you do have community events at the school building. We do know you own the building. That's why they can sell the building up under you, because you do own the building. But it's basically saying you haven't paid your taxes, and when you pay your taxes, when you pay your light bill, your gas bill, when you don't pay them, because you be worried they're gonna come and cut it off. So there's a whole lot going on, and now his accounts are frozen. That's due to a relationship of a girl that he alleged that stole his account, the information. Like, how is all this stuff access to someone to get a hold of, especially when you said the woman was a jump off, or she was a 304, or this and that? Should she be that close to you? Should you be dealing with her? So it's just like, what's going on? It doesn't seem like he has any money in his accounts for him to even pay partial or make payments. And right now is at the forefront, as far as if they don't get the money by this date, the building is going to be auctioned off. So maybe somebody might come and buy the building that's going to maybe have the same idea as Umar Johnson, but I doubt it. And it's just like, this should be together. Seems like Dr. Umar Johnson need a manager. He needs somebody to be in charge of the finance. He needs somebody to be in charge of everything, because he's not a great businessman. He's a great speaker, he's a great motivator, but he's not a great businessman at all. That's what it seems like, because, if you can't pay these bills, how are you going to pay teachers? How are you going to pay a principal? How are you going to pay for parking? How are you going to pay for security? How are you going to pay for school lunch? How are you going to pay for all this stuff? And it's like the school hasn't been up and running, and there's no curriculum. There's not an accredited school where kids can actually attend, where they actually have a faculty. So it just seems like he doesn't have the money to do any of this. If you can't pay the lights and the gas, that means that that's not funds coming in. But he's saying his accounts are frozen. So is the money in the accounts? Because he's also asking for donations to save the building, to save the school. And it's in the amount of $20,000, maybe plus. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole situation. It has been an ongoing situation with Umar Johnson and the school just not being there, where people said that they offered help. Umar Johnson said these people were not good people. They were trying to steal, we haven't seen any teachers being interviewed, or teachers, or nothing. It's just like, what's going on? Like, for real, like, where is the money going? Because people allege that Umar Johnson is not taking care of his daughter and hasn't been taking care of her for years. And his fatherless daughter and motherless daughter, she's out here in these streets, and she looked really bad, walking up and down the street, like, she looks distressed. She looks like, she's out of it. So maybe before you could save anybody else or save any other children, save your own children, or at least attempt to save them, and maybe record it and get that relationship together, because it's just too many things that give red flag. And we know people do go through different things, and some people are fallible and do make mistakes, but this is just ongoing. It's like it's Dr. Umar Johnson be on a high for a few years, and then boom, it all starts crashing down. Some people allege that maybe he gambles. Who knows? Just because he was at the casino one time. But people are just calling him out as being, wanting people grip money, but not producing the school. He does do shows, he does do lectures, he do teach, but there's not any teaching or schooling being done in the school building where people have donated and want a school because they want better for their children and their community. And Dr. Umar Johnson has talked a good, game about how to put that together, and how, your kids will be better with him at his school, because they would have the understanding of the black child. So in any event, let's continue.
They wanted to sell the school before we found out. I believe that they wanted to sell the school. We received no letter in the mail, door, and a rubber band and masking for 4 years. If they would have applied our nonprofit vacant property registration waiver, we would owe absolutely nothing. We would owe absolutely nothing. Vacant property registration waiver.
So now he's talking about that there should have been a waiver for the non-vacancy for his property. There should have been a waiver, a deductible, where it will come out to total zero. But how many years are you behind? And if you want it retroactively, when did you start going behind? Was you a year behind, 2 years behind, 3 years behind? How behind are you? And it seems like if they would apply it 1 year, they're going to apply it the second year. It should be easier to apply it the second year, the third year, the fourth year, because Dr. Umar Johnson said he didn't own this school or this building for about 6 years. So did they apply it in the beginning, the middle, or they not didn't apply it at all? And whose fault is that it hasn't been applied? Is there any documentation? Is there any proof that you did try to apply for it when that maybe have been a deadline, or was there a deadline? So it's like a whole lot going on.
We would owe absolutely nothing. We would owe absolutely nothing. We would owe absolutely nothing. But I asked them, and they ignored my emails for 4 months. They ignored my phone calls for 4 months. They ignored our emails for 4 months. They ignored our phone calls for 4 months. And instead, the first time I hear from them since April, the first time I hear from them since contacting them April, asking them to apply our vacant property registration fee waiver to the past 4 years so we would owe absolutely nothing. They ignored me since April. They ignored, giving us 20 days to pay these back taxes. We already paid $30,000 for water that we don't even use. We just paid $30,000 to the city of Wilmington for water that we don't even use. And now we got to pay another $30,000 for vacant property registration fees that we shouldn't even owe because we should have a waiver. We should have a waiver. They are raising the vacant property registration fee this fall from $5,000 a year to $12,000 a year. I'm going to say.
So as you could see, he's still having problems. He's still having issues. The school hasn't been started. People put their hopes and they put their money behind Umar Johnson, and they really wanted the school for young, black children. And to go to a place that will understand them, would treat them right, they would have the correct curriculum. All the things that Dr. Umar talked about, people believed in, and they believed in him, and they donated, but it never happened. It's been so many years now that it just seems like it's never going to happen. And unfortunately, some people just, they gave to the cause. So once you give it away, you give it away. It's whatever the person do with it, but you hope and you pray that they do the right thing because you are giving the money to them and for a particular thing to be done. And that's to start a school, get accredited, have a faculty, and have, kids coming to school and going to school and it being profitable, and seeing the videos and seeing, we wanted to hear great stories about how public school was bad for them, but once they went to Umar Johnson school, it was great. And it doesn't seem like that story is going to ever prevail in this case. And Dr. Umar Johnson is talking about having a protest and actually, having a fundraiser and just calling on like a donation type of revival to revive the school or to save the school. And he's calling on people to help and open up their pockets to help. But at this point, it just seems like maybe he should gift the building to somebody and just let it be and put his life together and get his life in order and get, his finance straight. And then, it's just a mess. It's just sad because it's like, you want to see your brother win, especially when they're trying to build up the community and care for the kids and making sure they have a great education, because we know how our children and children of color, black children, get treated in school, and how they have to go. Sometimes the classes are overwhelmed with, students. The curriculum sometimes set them up to fail. It just be so much going on that when you see that you want to put a black school together to help these kids, it's a dream that used to, be not a dream. Back in the day, there was plenty of black schools and black teachers and black foundation where they raised their kids. And they went to school with people that looked like them, as far as their teachers that understood them and things of that nature, and taught the correct curriculum to the kids that was for the kids, and not curriculum that sometimes set a kid up to fail. Because if you're set up to take test after test after test, you're just regurgitating information. It's not seeking in. It's not becoming, you're not really absorbing the information to apply it to life and things of that nature. So in any event, it's a sad situation. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And where he gonna put the money at? Does he got any more accounts? Does he got any new accounts? Like, what's going on?